Hello, this is Jaiye Bynoe on the Jayman Show on WBC 102.9 FM, Boston's local community radio station. My guest today is singer-songwriter Kim Tavares. Hi, Kim. Good to see you on the show today.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I listened to your songs. They're wonderful. I was like, wow, you blew me away last night. So it was like, wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess I would start by saying, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what got you started in music?
Yeah, so I've been in music for about 25, 30 years. I started singing when I was, younger in the chorus and then in church. But the first time I was sung in person, I was kind of a shy kid, was in 8th grade chorus. And I had to sing. One of my favorite songs is from The Sound of Music, and it was These Are a Few of My Favorite Things. And that's the first time I sung, for an audition in front of some of my classmates and also, staff. Yeah. Then after that, I joined a band, like a top 40 band here in New England in the early 90s. I was also, oh, sorry, that's my alarm. Oh. That's my alarm for you. Just, I don't want to be late for anything. And then I was in a band, top 40 band. So we played all over New England. Lounges and venues and weddings. And then I was in a couple girl groups, in the 90s. And I just started writing. I've always written poems, but I started writing and putting music to my lyrics maybe about 10 to 12 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. I mean, so what are your songs about? Do you like to write and sing about?
You know what? So for me, so my album that I just wrote, I wrote 13 songs that are on the album. I had so many more that I'd written, but I didn't want to, I guess as an independent artist, I could have had 20 songs on there, but you live, you learn. And my songs are just about life experience. When you listen to my songs, they're about, you'll be able to relate to them. Everyone can, because what I want people to realize is we are more the same than we are different. The first track off my album, My Story, which was released on February 26th, is called Love Me for Me. And that's basically what it is. People have a tendency to judge people by what they look like on the outside without giving that person a chance. No matter what color you are, what religion you are, sexual orientation. If you don't have conversation with people that you think what they're about, you'll never prosper. You'll never grow. The second song is Hold On to Love. Mm-hmm. It's about family, friends, relationships, whether from a long time ago, maybe you've had a falling out with a family member or a friend. And as you grow older, you realize, wait a minute, what was that argument about? Like, was it even that important? So it takes you on a roller coaster of great emotions, but it's real stuff that people can relate to.
Yeah, exactly. I can definitely relate to what you were singing about. Because I was like, yeah.
Thank you.
I sure could, yeah. So what influences you or inspires you to do what you do?
So what inspires me is some of, being older, being of a mature age. What happens is you develop, with age comes wisdom, mm-hmm. Experience, versatility, and throughout your life, you're touched by different people in your life, and they bring these stories of their life into you. And anything inspires me. I mean, it could be the weather. It could be just an incident, a sad incident, maybe a death in a family, or you see how someone is hurting from losing a loved one, or happiness. I want to touch on all those aspects because it's a part of everyday life. I also look into I'm a lyric person. I don't play any instruments. So I'm very, very conscious about my lyrics. It's a story, from the 60s, the 70s. I grew up listening to Motown, of course, Aretha Franklin, the Supremes, Temptations, Stevie Wonder. But then in the 70s, you had where that bands came in, like real bands, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Ohio Players, so many different Average White Band. You have all these aspects of music that, I mean, so much talent. And then you get into the 80s, I had Shalimar, the Gap Band, the SOS Band. There's just so much, but my favorites of all time, and I love a lot of people, but Luther Vandross and Babyface are my favorites, probably because of the style of writing, and there's a story, and that's what I want my music to be about.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's definitely wonderful. Do you want to sing some? Do you want to sing some of your music right now?
You know what? I didn't set up for that, and I'm always ready to sing something. But what I can do is I don't have it set up for that. But what I will do is there is, and the thing is, my album is available. I do have physical CDs as well, and I will give everyone, where they can find that. But let's talk about this one song called I named it Isaiah.
Okay.
Back in October, November, I started writing, and I came up with, I had the music from Tony Lopes, who happens to be a producer here in Boston. And again, I don't play instrumentals. So, usually producers will send me instrumentals and I will write a song to it. I don't sit down and say, hey, let me write about this or let me write about that. The music actually tells me what it's supposed to say. I'll listen to it, or I'll keep my headphones on. I'll make sure I listen to it over and over again. And I'm such an old school person when it comes to music and writing style that I like an intro, or, that first verse that goes into the chorus and back to the verse, and, a bridge. So for me, I always come up with my chorus or the hook first. So back in November, I was writing about this song, and it kept saying, when you go through hard times, you think you're going to, drown, but you make it through. Or, when you think it's the worst time of your life and people are, talking about you, dragging you through, coals or through the mud, and you come out clean. So I said, what am I trying to write about here? And when I looked it up, like Google, I said, what am I saying? Like going through the fire, not getting burned, feeling like you're drowning, but you don't drown. And it took me to a place in the Bible, the book of Isaiah. And the song was supposed to be called All of Your Lifetime. And when I looked at that, I said, wait a minute, this is what I'm saying. This is something that out of the Bible that I didn't even realize. So when you listen to the song Isaiah, you won't hear the name referenced at all. And it goes, just when you think that no one cares, he's there for all of your lifetime. So it was going to be called All of Your Lifetime. I said, oh, no. I'm going to name it Isaiah. And that's how the song Isaiah, was born. It's very organic, and I think that's what resonates to people. And what happened with that song is a friend of mine, Don Brown, he's from Boston. He said, Kim, I know you're working on some music. Do you want me to send your song to one of my friends in the UK, in England? I said, okay, yeah, why not? Everything's copywritten, I'm part of ASCAP. I might send it to a DJ. But what I didn't realize is in the UK, they love and appreciate quality R&B and soul music. Probably soul music that we don't get to hear on mainstream radio. And the thing is, I mean, we have good music that's out here, but you're not hearing everything because every time you turn on the radio, the songs are in rotation, you know, and there's a lot of politics here in the United States as far as, you know, wanting to get your music played on the radio. There's big record companies, and I can't just say, hey, can you play my song? I mean, you can do that, and there's nothing wrong with it. It might happen and it might not, but for the most part, there's always money behind getting something played on mainstream radio. So for my song to be sent over there to the UK, this was November, within 2 days, I kept getting all these notifications, and my song Isaiah was on so many playlists. Oh. And the DJs were reaching out to me, and it went into a few of the UK soul charts and made it as high as number 5 in the top 20. It made it to number 5. Wow, so I'm very grateful.
That's wonderful. And were you offered a record? Were you offered a recording deal on there? A record deal on it?
No. You know, things aren't like they used to be. You know, the 80s, 90s, that, you know, 70s, 80s, 90s record deal. Right now, there's so many independent artists out there, and everything is at your fingertips. Of course, it's great when you have, you know, a record company or, you know, all this money behind you for promotion. There's good music there, but if nobody knows it's out there, then how are they going to hear it? So, but for me, I'm doing everything myself. Mm-hmm. You know, executive producer of my album. There's no middleman between me and having to talk to you. There's no middleman between me doing radio drops for dozens of DJs. I've done so many interviews, you know, mostly with DJs, you know, in, you know, France and the UK and Germany, Canada, in Montreal. So I want to be that first point of contact right now, because there's no need for anyone to handle that right now for me. Yeah. So no record deals. But right now, my product is in place. It would be great if a record company, you know, wanted to promote my album, and then I could work on other things, but I don't want to lose the creative juices that I have. I don't want to lose that power, where right now I want to release another single. I can go to the studio and record it. I could release it, you know, in a month. Mm-hmm. So I just don't want to lose that. But hey, if a record deal came along, it's, you know, we'll sit down and we talk about it. But it doesn't have to be it could be a single record deal, a publishing deal. You know, I'm here for it. I'm here for it all.
Yeah, me too. I definitely hear what you're saying. You know, I think we all are. So my question is, what made you want to become a policewoman?
So what I did, so I'm a police officer actually in Boston, and I'm going into my 20th year as a police officer. So for me, it's always been, you know, I was a single mom. I worked in the top 40 bands back in the 90s, and my sons, I have 2 sons, they were young at the time. And I worked a secretarial job, and on the weekends I worked in a band. And our band was booked every weekend all over New England. We did weddings, so I was constantly busy, but I thank God for my family, my parents, because when people say it takes a village to raise, you know, your children, it really does. And they always knew, you know, this was my dream, to sing or to be creative, to touch the masses through music. And I saw that there was a police exam coming up. I said, you know what? Let me just take it. So it wasn't as if this is what I've always wanted to do. I always want to reach people and, you know, the public, whether it's good or bad. I want to bridge that gap between, you know, implementing my music into my job. So in 2001, I joined the police academy, and throughout the academy, I was in a band. So I was academy all during the week. Weekends, I played in the band, had 2 sons to take care of. And when I graduated, I was asked to sing at my academy graduation. And from there, I've implemented that music into my work. So I've been asked to sing in Washington, D.C. a few times. I've sung at the Celtics game, Red Sox, the Patriots, dozens of fundraisers, Susan B. Komen Race for the Cure, Cops for Kids with Cancer, a couple of events leading up to the Boston Marathon. So people, don't give up on your dream because you have one job. You have to implement it and live your dreams. Don't let somebody tell you that you can't do it. And usually those people that tell you that, oh, you shouldn't do that. And, oh, no, you're just a cop, you shouldn't sing. Or, oh, you're a doctor, you shouldn't do this. Or you're a secretary, you shouldn't do this. That's because they cannot see themselves doing it. And it takes time. And never, never give up. Never give up.
Absolutely. I hear that. So what advice can you give people like artists, like myself, that want to be a singer or artist? Well, what advice can you give them?
So again, my advice is never give up. For me, living in Massachusetts, living in Boston, we have the best music schools. We have Berklee College of Music here. We have the conservatory, Boston Conservatory. Growing up for me, my parents were older. I was raised by my aunt and uncle. I knew that I probably wouldn't be able to go to college. Back then, even trying to come up with money to school applications, that deters people from, moving on and pursuing their dreams as far as college is concerned or getting a degree. I used to feel a little, I don't know, like out of place a little bit, or I would always minimize like the fact that I sing. And by no means do I think I'm the best singer in the world. I think what people do like is my delivery and the tone of my voice. I don't know how to read music. Everything is by ear. So when I'm around other people who have these degrees in music or have these degrees in music theory, it's like, well, why is this happening for me? And maybe it didn't happen for them, but it's all about your steps are ordered. So I can't question, why me? It's happening now. I'm being recognized and appreciated. I've went through years of people telling me, oh, well, your voice it doesn't sound like this person. Or you don't scream and do all these vocal acrobats like other people. I'm like, okay, well, I can only be Kim Tavares, right? I don't want to sound like anyone else. I mean, my voice may resemble someone's, but I want to be my own person. Or your songs sound old. These are what people and people will tell you this. And a lot of people, it'll get you down and you'll say, well, you know what? I'm not a good singer. I'm just going to give up on that. But see, I didn't. And it took, sometimes they say you have to go outside of your home to be appreciated. It took another country to appreciate me. And still, my songs are just still on the charts in the UK. I'm going on tour in the UK, God willing that COVID is over, but I've been added to Back to Love Weekender. It's in Southport, England. It's up by Liverpool. That's September 3rd to the 5th. And I was added to that tour back in December, just on the strength of my song Isaiah. I didn't even have the album out yet. So again, it's about not giving up. And several of the songs on my album are songs that I wrote back in 2010, 2011, when people were like, your songs are old. I'm like, well, they're not. Well, they're really old now, but they're also on the charts and being appreciated in the UK. So I'm just saying, do your research. Everything's at your fingertips. Look up music business, copyright law. You just always, there's a wealth of knowledge out there at your fingertips. You can find your own studios to go to, find a distribution company. I'm doing all this on my own, and you can do it too. Never let somebody tell you that you cannot do it.
Absolutely, you definitely can. Yeah, yeah. Wow. So yeah, it sounds like you got a lot going on. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I also, and again, all this has happened since November. I've only had the 2 songs. I had Isaiah and this other song called Ugly Soul that was sent over in November. So I started writing my album like December. So since then, I've written, I'd say 8 to 9 new songs, and then maybe the 3 or 4 older songs from that I wrote before are on there. I updated them just a little bit, but for the most part, the lyrics and everything is still the same.
That's good. Because I love to play some of the songs with you. Absolutely.
Yeah. So and also what I did is I have a CD also. I mean, you can digitally download the album. Of course, because the younger people, they like, you have Spotify. It's on Spotify. Kim Tavares. You can go to Bandcamp and download it. And most people are on their phones. So, they have everything right there, put their headphones and they can listen. But I do have a lot of older family members, and some people still like to have that physical product, a CD. So I do have a CD that's available as well. It's at kimtavaresmusic.com. And if anyone wants to purchase it, just go to kimtavaresmusic.com and I could send it to you. I could sign it for you and mail it to you. And that's something that you have, you physically have in your hands. And it's special when, you have someone that, signs it for you, with your name on it. It's just a lot, but I'm just so glad that I'm taking the opportunity to, when I think about something, I'm like, what, let me look that up really quick. Or let me see, does this seem right? Like something doesn't seem right about what this person's saying, or this seems a little too good to be true. Let me just look this up. So it's good that I have that, that knowledge, and everybody has that. You just, just look things up and, make your dreams come true. People aren't going to help you unless they see you trying to help yourself.
That's true. That's the most,
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll definitely show. I already see you, so you can sign up because I'll put it here. Definitely.
Well, and I appreciate you, reaching out to me. It got so busy for me when the album came out, all the interviews, and I said, "Oh man, I got to get on the Jayman Show." And finally, we made it happen. And I said, I got to make sure, this happens. I mean, you're from Boston. This is like, we got to take care of home first. And you do such great interviews. And I said, no matter what, we have to get this done. And congratulations to you on your graduation. Great accomplishment. And congratulations for that. You really deserve it.
So much. I definitely appreciate it. I love you. And that means a whole lot to me. Yeah, and I appreciate you coming on my show and discussing music with me, because I love it. It's like,
thank you. And let me see if I have, and I don't know, and I'm sorry that I'm not set up like to record. And you know what has been crazy is my allergies. I have been ridiculous. My eyes right now, I could just like take them out and like scratch them. But let me see if I have a little bit of, I want to see if, for my songs, there are, I worked with a few different producers. And one thing I know, and people have probably heard this, is a closed mouth never gets fed. Sometimes you have to reach out, and like for radio stations, I'll go online and say, you know what? If they don't know I'm here, how are they going to play my song? So I'll, email, or you can go on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Kim Tavares, and I'm on Twitter as Kim Tavares. So I'll sit here and I was like, you know what? Let me send Babyface my song. Let me tag this person on a song. For my song Tripping Together. let me post that, and you need to know the direction you want to go. And with Tripping Together, it's a song about, finally getting over this COVID. Everybody wants to go away, but since we can't, let's go away in our minds. And I stop in a lot of different cities and countries. I make sure that I mention all these, cities and countries, and I touch all the continents. And it's a fun song. So I'm like, okay, well, this airline, let me do JetBlue, let me do AAA. You never know what advertising person is going to see it. So you can't say, no, I'm not going to send it to Babyface, or I'm not going to send it to Jimmy Jam and Terry. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt. So one song I have is, I don't know if you can hear a little bit, and maybe I'll play a little bit here, is Time Won't Wait. So Time Won't Wait, this is a song on the album, and the producer of this song, his name is Michael Huggy Carter. He is the tour manager, production manager for Mary J. Blige and Toni Braxton. And I met him through a friend, Roger Renwick, last October, I believe it was. And again, since COVID happened, there were no tours. Yeah. So what happened during COVID is a lot of people got to reset and go back to what they really enjoy. He was a musician and an engineer, a mixing and mastering engineer. But what he did is, since there was no more touring, he decided to get back into playing music, producing. And he sent me, I said, yeah, just send me some songs that you have. And he would send me like 3 or 4. I'd listen. And again, I know right away if I like it, and if I could write to it, it tells me. So this one song, and he's out in Las Vegas. I flew out there after I wrote the song and recorded it in Vegas in November it was. And it's called Time Won't Wait. So I want to just tell me if you can hear a little bit of this really quick. Hold on. Can you hear that a little bit? Okay. It's called Time Won't Wait. Seasons come and seasons go, and seasons go. Leaves change, rain falls, and flowers grow. See, just simple things in life. Don't you see? Don't you see how happy you could be? Can't complain about it if you don't try, right? And then I'll just play a little bit of this chorus. Time won't wait, so don't waste time. It's that simple. Time wait, so don't waste time. You're not a clock on the wall. So that song there was on the charts as well. It's still being played on many playlists in the UK. But again, it's time won't wait, so don't waste time. You're not a clock on the wall. The next verse there was the sun will shine. No, the snow will fall, the sun will shine. It's about, don't hesitate on finding love. Yes. Don't hesitate on following your dream. Time won't wait, so don't waste time. Another song so that was by Michael Huggy Carter. He also produced the first song on the album, which is Love Me For Me. Another song, I Just Want to Love You, But I Don't Know How. There's another fast song on there, which is called Get Up to Get Down. It's almost like a little disco type of club song. And also what I did is I researched music sequencing. especially for a CD or for an album. When you're listening to songs, I don't want to put 4 slow, deep meaning songs at the beginning and then just 4 fast songs and back to slow. I want to, you know, start out with a compelling song, which is Love Me For Me. Yes. It makes you think. It's a deep, deep song. And then bring you out of it with Hold On to Love, which is a little bit more up tempo, but it's not a club song. Yeah. So there's a way to bring people through these different feelings, you know, and then bring them up and then bring them down. And the last song of the album is called Thank You. Yeah. And that was produced by, it's a very quick song. It was produced by John Remnius, DJ More 10 out of Sweden. And I believe he had one of his songs that was on a playlist, and I loved the song. And I said, well, let me reach out to this producer. Again, closed mouth doesn't get fed. I reached out to him on Facebook. He got right back in touch with me. He loves old school 90s R&B sound. He sent me some music. I wrote, there's another song on there, Tears Fall, that he produced. He sends it to me right off the bat. I'm writing to it. He gets a guitar player to come in and play on it. And the song just came to life within about 4 or 5 days. But for Thank You, I'm ending the CD with Thank You, because it's just to the point. And I told him, I said, with this song, I want to keep it very simple. I don't want to add too much to it. I don't want this big bridge and, you know, all this production. I want to get in there and get out. And the song's about 2 minutes and maybe 20 seconds, if that. And a little bit of that I can play really quick. Okay. And again, I apologize to your audience for not, you know, having it set up. But again, it's about the lyrics for me. And this one is called Thank You. Okay. And I'll tell you what, if you can't hear it. You never second guess the thing I do. You never question why. There's something heavy weighing on my mind. I want to say I thank you. I know that you were sent from up above. So I thank you. And then it goes right into the second verse. So very, very simple, but sometimes that's all it takes. You know, you want to get your point across without having too much going on around it. You know, I didn't want it to be busy like that. And that ends the CD, the 13th song on the CD, on the album or CD. Yeah, so I worked with a bunch of different producers, and again, they would send me songs, and I'm like, oh, you know, okay, nope, let me try a different one, and if it fits. So there's no particular topic, and I'm not going to say, okay, when he sent me that, I'm not going to say, okay, let me talk about a breakup. Or let me tell you, it is nothing like that. It just comes to me. And I'm so grateful because I know that it's a gift. I know it's a gift from God. And I know that, you know, there are people who sing that don't write. There are people who write that don't sing. But I'm blessed to be able to do both. And it's just an amazing time for me right now. And for me, this is success to me. If nothing more happened from this, you know, I just want to be appreciated because I know there are people out there appreciate good quality music. So that's where I am right now with this. And I'm very blessed and honored, you know, to be interviewed, and people want to interview me and, you know, have me sing. So it feels good to, you know, talk to, you know, your listeners and people you work with who have to edit. And there's a lot of work that goes into this, and time, and everyone's time is important. So, you know, I appreciate you taking the time out.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming on my show and sharing your music. I love this music. I'm going to order the city tonight, you know. I
Thank
especially,
you.
especially I love the first song. I love that first song. That was
Love Me For Me.
number one. Yeah, I think so. I think that was it.
Yeah, Love Me For Me. Oh my goodness. That man, that right there is, I again, I did a lot of research, and it says, you know, you want to capture people with that first song. And the lyrics, you know, right there are, and I guess every artist is going to say their songs are good songs, but I want people to listen to it. And the thing is too, even if you don't want the whole entire album, you could go to Bandcamp. Go to Bandcamp, Kim Tavares, Bandcamp, not Kim Tavares, but just Google Kim Tavares. And you can listen to every song on there. If you want to, but just buy one song, one single, it's 99 cents. You know, buy that song. You don't have to get the whole album, but you can listen to it, preview it, and then you decide from there. But put your headphones on and really take the time to listen, you know, to what I'm saying. Because even though the album's called My Story, it's your story. So when you read that album and it says My Story, I want you to say that's you. Like, wow, this is my story. Because that's exactly what I feel like. It's for everyone.
I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree. Absolutely. So I guess I'll just ask you a question.
Okay.
You said you have to go.
Yeah, I have another 2 more interviews to do.
Well,
Yes. That's okay. I'll make the time.
So where do you see yourself, you know, 10 years from now down the line?
You know what? I am going to take this one day at a time. Again, for me, my vision is for my music to be played in commercials, in movies. I would love to get into radio, on the red carpet, to interview other people, talk show host, on a panel. And the other thing is too, for me to be able to talk as a woman, as a Black woman, that's a police officer, a Black woman that's a police officer who's an independent artist. You're not going to find, they're out there, but you're not going to find that many. And I want to bridge that gap between what it's like. You know, nobody can tell your story like you can. And I think I could speak for a lot of people, honestly and factually, and with integrity, and, you know, with feeling. So I see myself day by day, one of the most sought after singer-songwriters. And I don't have to be out front because I'm getting older. I'm not going to be jumping around on somebody's stage, but I know that it's the writing, the lyrics. When you hear something, you're like, well, who wrote that? You know, you see the artists out there, but you always, oh, wait a minute, that's a great performance, but what they wrote was amazing. So I want to be that person. Maybe see me on a red carpet somewhere. But you know, the fame is, you know, that's fine, but I just still want to have a normal life, be able to take care of my family and write quality R&B music.
Yeah, I think we all want that, you know, especially now.
Yes.
Here's the saying. I definitely hear what you're saying. I respect you, and I hear that, you know.
Well, thank you.
Definitely.
From my mouth and your mouth to God's ears. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, that's the plan, Nick. Let's make this our year. Our time to shine.
Most definitely. And again, I want to tell everyone you can find me on YouTube, Kim Tavares. www.kimtavarmusic.com. Follow me on Instagram, Kim Tavar, Twitter, Spotify. If you guys have Spotify, it's Kim Tavar. Add me to your playlists. And if there's any radio stations in the US that's listening, reach out to me, Kim Tavar Music at Gmail. So, it's all the same, Kim Tavar Music at Gmail. And I can do some radio drops. And if you want to play the song, just go right ahead.
Absolutely. That's the plan, Please support.
Thank you.
Support you, and that you come on my show. Definitely appreciate it. I hope to talk to you again soon,
You're welcome. And anytime, maybe to come back to perform, and I'll keep you guys updated as to what's going on. And I also have a show in Pittsburgh, June 11th. So that's going to be my first show in the United States, June 11th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I'm looking forward to that.
Are you going to be doing any shows in Boston? So I come see you before in Boston?
You know what? I want to, as soon as everything opens back up, I'm trying to actually find a venue because I want to do something, a record release, party or a listening party. I would love to, it could be intimate setting or maybe an outdoor setting, but for people to come to listen. Yeah. It's one thing when you're at a bar or you're at a lounge or a restaurant and a band's playing. You're not really coming there to listen to the band. You're eating and, the background noise and the forks and the plates and the glasses falling, dishes breaking. I want a listening party where people are coming that appreciate the music. So right now, nothing planned in Boston, but it's not that I'm not looking. I'm ready for that. My band, I do have a band. They're out of the DMV down in DC area, Maryland, Virginia area. And we're ready to do things. We're ready to, get out there and get on a tour. But we're ready. We're just going to wait till everything opens back up. We want people to stay healthy. But keep on the lookout. Any promoters out there, we are ready to do this. And we're going to give you a good show. And it's not that, I have to be the headliner of anything. If I'm, want to stay humble, to even if I could get on a tour of a major artist and, I'm there, I do 2 songs at the beginning and it doesn't matter because we all know how it is to go to a concert. We really want to see like the main artist, but for me to be on stage, whether, those early people are there and there's 200 people, I don't mind. I wouldn't care if there's 5 people, but just the honor to be on a tour and to be singing to a live audience and those people are listening to me, that's success to me. And it's fulfilling. And that's why I'm love music and being creative.
Absolutely. And I'll hopefully meet someday, and see you in concert.
Definitely.
Meet you someday, hopefully make it happen soon. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you to all the listeners out there. Thank you for the support. And you definitely will be seeing me again.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. Next time I come on my show, you can maybe sing some more songs to me.
Most definitely. I'll have it all set up for you.
We can schedule it, okay?
Okay. All right.
Take care. See you soon.
All right. You too. Bye.
Thanks again.